Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources.
New York Times Business. October 27. 7:20 America, New York. Rent the Runway, a secondhand fashion site, prepares to go public. The clothing rental company is trying to rebound from a loss of business during the pandemic. New York Times Business. October 27. 7:19 America, New York. Rent the Runway, a secondhand fashion site, prepares to go public. The clothing rental company is trying to rebound from a loss of business during the pandemic. Rent the Runway's warehouse in Secaucus, NJ, in 2018. The company is trying to regain the momentum it had before the pandemic.
Forex Live. October 27. 7:10 America, New York. U.S. MBA mortgage applications W.E. The 22nd of October plus 0.3% versus minus 6.3% prior. Latest data from the Mortgage Bankers Association for the week ending 22 October 2021 to minus 6.3% market index 645.1 versus 643.0 prior. Purchase index 275.6 versus 266.2 prior.
Daily FX Market News. October 27, 7:01 America, New York. USD faces short-term month-end hurdle. AUD, USD Topside struggles. USD at risk of month-end selling, while AUD, USD fails to hold onto inflation-inspired gains.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 27, 7 o'clock America, New York. Libor transition Vexes CLO market. While some parties have moved swiftly to adopt a replacement for the interest rate benchmark, low-rated borrowers and collateralized loan obligations have been slower to adapt.
Naked Capitalism. October 27, 6:54 America, New York. Want to see a modern country commit suicide? Take a hard look at Britain. Post-Brexit Britain is not doing at all well, and things are not going to take a turn anytime soon.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 27, 6:54 America, New York. Robinhood, Microsoft, GM, Coca-Cola. What to watch when the stock market opens today. Robinhood shares were sinking pre-market after its earnings report. Microsoft was ticking higher.
Forex Live. October 27, 6:38 America, New York. China talks tough on trade war with the U.S. China voices their side of the story after Vice Premier Liu He had a video call with U.S. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen. Yesterday, the COVID-19 pandemic has been a convenient excuse for geopolitical tensions to be cast aside, but as the world slowly returns to normal, expect more blows to be traded between U.S. and China.
Global Economy. October 27, 6:31 America, New York. Flexport's CEO on the mystery and messiness of global supply chains. He might not have saved Christmas, but Ryan Peterson's tweets are a gift if you want to know what's happening on the West Coast.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 27, 6:30 America, New York. Trump's social media SPAC could make its backers $400 million. The obscure financiers who launched the shell company that is taking the former president's venture public are poised for a big payday if the deal gets completed.
New York Times Business. October 27, 6 o'clock America, New York. Merck will share formula for its COVID pill with poor countries. The company announced a licensing deal that will allow the drug, molnupiravir, to be made and sold cheaply in 105 developing nations. Workers at the South African pharmaceutical company Aspen Pharmacare, which plans to apply for a license to make the COVID antiviral medication molnupiravir and distribute it across Africa. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27, 6 o'clock America, New York. Promising COVID-19 pill license to nonprofit to increase global supply. Merck is licensing molnupiravir, an antiviral it developed with Ridgeback Biotherapeutics, to a group that will pick drugmakers to make the pill for low- and middle-income countries. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27, 6 o'clock America, New York. Spotify ad business boosted by podcasts. Spotify's big podcast bet appears to be paying off, with third-quarter advertising revenue up 75% from a year earlier and user growth picking up after a lull earlier this year.
Naked Capitalism. October 27, 5:54 America, New York. Tiny leaks, big impacts. New research points to urban indoor methane leaks. A new carbon reduction target. Researchers in Boston find buildings' indoor sources emit much more methane than most experts thought.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27. 5:33 America New York, cutting emissions remains a struggle for shipping. Ahead of the Glasgow COP26 climate summit, ship operators are contending with limited supplies of cleaner fuel choices and hefty prices for new modes of power.
Forex Live. October 27. 5:32 America New York, Germany's Altmaier. Inflation will start to slow early next year. Remarks by German Economy Minister Peter Altmaier, adding that even with no more lockdowns, rising inflation might have negative impact on the economy. Well, duh.
Wall Street Journal Markets. October 27. 5:30 America New York, U.S. takes Bitcoin mining crown after China crackdown. More than a third of the global computing power dedicated to mining Bitcoin is now drawn from machines in the U.S., up from less than a fifth last spring. Wall Street Journal Markets. October 27. 5:30 America New York, Facebook faces FTC probe over its internal research. Federal Trade Commission staffers have begun looking into disclosures that Facebook's internal company research had identified ill effects from its products.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27. 5:30 America New York, Facebook faces FTC probe over its internal research. Federal Trade Commission staffers have begun looking into disclosures that Facebook's internal company research had identified ill effects from its products.
Daily FX Market News. October 27. 5:30 America New York, EUR, GBP likely to be choppy as BOE ECB risks unfold. EUR, GBP likely to remain in a noisy range amid key central bank meetings.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27. 5:30 America New York, Derby's take. As FOMC meeting nears, two Fed governors issue hawkish warnings. Federal Reserve governors are leading the way when it comes to hawkish talk at the central bank about what may be needed to bring high levels of inflation back under control. Wall Street Journal U.S. Business. October 27. 5:30 America New York, cigarette sales in U.S. climbed slightly in 2020, FTC says. A new report confirms people lit up more during the pandemic, the first time sales rose in 20 years.